Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. Gonna be giving you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference ahead of our game against Southampton. Now Solskjaer's confirmed that Paul Pogba and Scott McTominay are unlikely to feature on Sunday because they haven't trained on the grass this morning. Luke Shaw, he started his rehab on the grass, but not with the Manchester United squad. Luke Shaw's expected to be out for at least a couple of more weeks because he has got a hamstring injury. Solskjaer's confirmed that Jesse Lingard's out of his self-isolation and he's been back in full training. He's confirmed that Phil Jones is still injured. And he said that Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof and Marcus Rashford should be okay, but they're not 100% fit. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has paid tribute to Diego Maradona. And he recalls the moment when he touched his shoulder as a teenage boy when Argentina played Norway back in 1986. Solskjaer's also said that Bruno Fernandes has brought a Cristiano Ronaldo-like presence to Manchester United. You know, Ole has been very, very impressed with Bruno Fernandes. You know, Bruno Fernandes has made a fantastic impact. You know, you've had Manchester United fans saying that he's been the best signing we've made since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. You know, he's endured almost a year now at Manchester United. He scored 21 goals in 35 games for the club and he's provided around 15 assists. A lot of his goals have come from the penalty spot. Last season, Bruno Fernandes won Premier League Player of the Month twice. He also won the Matt Busby Player of the Year award. We paid €55 million for him from Sporting Lisbon back in January. Fernandes has got a contract with us until 2025. And Solskjaer says that our players have got to prove that they've learned their lessons if we want to extend our winning run. He did talk a bit about Southampton, did Solskjaer. Obviously, he's aware that Southampton are unbeaten in their last 7 games. He obviously mentioned that both games last season were draws because it was 1-1 at St Mary's last season and it was 2-2 at Old Trafford. So he's expecting a tough game. You know, Southampton are currently sitting 5th in the Premier League and that's good to their standards. You know, they've registered 17 points from their opening 9 games in the Premier League. If Southampton do win this on Sunday, they will go into the top 4. So yeah, so these are some of the stuff that were mentioned during the press conference. Southampton, you know, have got a very, very good manager in Ralph Hasenhüttl. And I've got to give him a lot of credit because he's turned Southampton around. Southampton, though, were very consistent when they had Mauricio Pochettino because Pochettino guided Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League era. And like I've said to you, know, they've got some good players of Southampton. You know, they've obviously got Danny Ings. He's one of their key players. The good news is from a Manchester United perspective that Danny Ings is not going to be available for Sunday because he's injured. Nathan Redmond, he's another one of their key players. he's not going to be available for Sunday, I don't think, because he's out with injury. But obviously they've got the likes of Obafemi, who's good. They've got Theo Walcott. They got him on loan from Everton. They've got Chi Adams. They've also got the likes of Romeu, who I like. They've got Kyle Walker-Peters. They've got Ryan Bertrand, who is a good left-back. They've got that Salisu. They've got Vestergaard. So yeah, and let's put into the equation, Southampton have let quite a few players go in recent years. You know, they let Charlie Austin go. They let Cedric Soares go. They let Holberg go. They let Mario Lemina go out on loan. You know, they've let quite a few of their players go to Liverpool in recent years. Obviously, you know, Virgil van Dijk left Southampton to go to Liverpool. They lost Nathaniel Klein to Liverpool. They lost Dejan Lovren to Liverpool. They lost Adam Lallana to Liverpool. And lost Sadio Mane to Liverpool. Back in 2014, they lost Luke Shaw to us, don't forget. But yeah, we've got a good record at St Mary's. I think we've played there like 15 times since they've been at that ground, and I think we've won 10 times there out of the 15 times we have played them. Now, I think probably Ole Gunnar Solsjaer is going to go with a similar lineup to as he did do against Istanbul Başakşehir. Maybe he could make a couple of changes. But yeah, I'm very, very hopeful that Donny van der Beek can start this game against Southampton. If he does, it will be his full Premier League debut for the football club. Donny van der Beek has been getting his chances in Europe, which is good to see. He played against Istanbul Başakşehir and he was playing in a deeper role. And I think that's his predominant position. You know, Donny van der Beek can play in 3 different roles. You know, we paid £40 million for him from Ajax. When we started him against RB Leipzig, we put him in that number 10 role, Donny van der Beek. So I'm hoping he can start, yeah. I'm also hopeful that Edison Cavani will start on Sunday. If Edison Cavani does start on Sunday, it will be his full Premier League debut for the football club. Edison Cavani did make his first start for the club against Istanbul Başakşehir, and he was very, very good. He also did well when he came off the bench against West Brom. He did well against Everton, scored his first goal for the club, and he almost scored with his first touch when he came on against Chelsea. Now, we got Edison Cavani on a free transfer on deadline day. He signed a 2-year contract with Man United worth around 230 grand a week, and he currently wears that number 7 shirt. Mason Greenwood, now I'm expecting him to be involved in this game. You know, could he possibly start the game? I haven't really had much of a perception on Mason Greenwood this season because he's had a lot of issues, hasn't he? You know, he's had personal issues, he's obviously had some injuries, he's been out with illness. Solskjaer's been defending him in recent weeks. Mason Greenwood can play on the right. You can put him on each flank and you can also play him centrally. When we do usually play him, we put him on that right-hand side. Solskjaer said that Greenwood's enjoyed a fantastic year. This season's his second season in our senior squad. And Greenwood's got a contract of us till 2023. At the start of this season, we give him that number 11 shirt. Now, Anthony Martial, I'm expecting him to start this game against Southampton. Anthony Martial made a massive impact against Istanbul Başakşehir. He was obviously playing on that left-hand side against Istanbul Başakşehir. Solskjaer giving his verdict on Anthony Martial's position, and he said he's happy that he's back on that left-hand side. because last season a lot he was playing centrally. But prior to the Istanbul Başakşehir game, Martial's endured a pretty difficult start to the season. Solsjaer explained prior to the Istanbul Başakşehir game why Martial's been struggling, and he basically said because of the 3-match suspension he had in the Premier League, because he got sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham, but in reality he shouldn't have been sent off. Last season Martial scored 23 goals for Man United and he did well in his debut season under Louis van Gaal era. He's endured a good 5 years or so now at the football club. Marcus Rashford, I'm expecting him to start this game. Now, where will he play though? Will he go on the left? Will he go on the right? He usually plays on that left, doesn't he, Marcus Rashford? We actually started him on the right against Istanbul Başakşehir. And he was actually, very, very good. Obviously he scored the penalty. Marcus Rashford has really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solsjaer era. He's had a couple of bad games this season, but I think in most of his games he's been really, really consistent. Marcus Rashford turned 23 a few weeks ago. He's been in United play since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. Against West Brom, he weren't so consistent though, was he, Marcus Rashford, because he'd just come back from a shoulder problem, don't forget. He had an injury last season, didn't he? And that kept him out for a few months. Now, I probably think that Fred will start this game. Like I've mentioned, Fred is undroppable. It should be Fred alongside Donny van der Beek, shouldn't it? And Fred has really, really impressed me under Ole Gunnar Solsjaer. Aspects of his game have really improved. He shows good attacking intent. His defensive contributions being good as Fred's. He was good against Istanbul Başakşehir. We paid £47 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk. Fred's got a contract with us until 2023. Now, Alex Telles, he will start at left back. I think this game will be his 4th appearance for Man United in all competitions. So far, Telles has made 3 appearances in all competitions. He's made 1 appearance in the league and 2 appearances in the Champions League. And Telles has made a fantastic impact. He's done well in all the games he's participated in so far. Not so long ago, he did have COVID. We paid, was it around 15.4 million for Telles with add-ons included. Now, I'm expecting Harry Maguire to start. Harry Maguire has done very, very well recently. He's rejuvenated himself because he did have early season troubles. He had that incident in Greece before the start of the season. He sustained a few knocks. And he got sent off in England's 1-0 defeat to Denmark earlier on in the season. But Harry Maguire's our current captain, and he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment because we got him in a deal worth £80 million. Now, like I said, Victor Lindelof should be starting. Solskjaer's confirmed, should be okay. But if Victor Lindelof wasn't to be available, then I think Tuanzebe would go alongside Harry Maguire. Like I said, it will be Wan-Bissaka at right back against Southampton because he should be okay. Wan-Bissaka has recently had a problem with his ankle. Wan-Bissaka has endured some good games this season where he showed good attacking intent and his defensive contributions being good. This is Wan-Bissaka's 2nd season at Manchester United. We got him in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace in the summer of 2019. If Wan-Bissaka, like I said though, wasn't to be available, then we'd go with Timothy Fosu-Mensah at right back because he's another option at right back. Now, there has been reports saying that we've offered Timothy Fosu-Mensah a 3-year contract because Solsjaer wants to keep him at the club. Timothy Fosu-Mensah's only played, well, should I say, he's only started 4 games in 3.5 years at the club. Was it last season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract? But yeah, I think it'll be Pisaka right back and Lindelof as one of the centre-halves. Obviously, David De Gea, he will remain in goal. Like I said, he will remain our number 1 this season, David De Gea. I've been very, very impressed with David De Gea this season. He's made some very, very good saves. But there has been some games where he hasn't really had much to do. So there you go. Eric Bay, he's available again now. He's just recently recovered from a muscle injury. That's my element of concern about Eric Bay. He's far too injury prone. Juan Mata, maybe he could be involved in the game, but I don't see him starting. Maybe he could start, but I don't think he will. Daniel James, I can almost assure he won't be starting the game, but again could be involved. Daniel James has lost his place in the team. You know, his appearances are limited. He's only played around 6 games in all competitions this season, but despite his lack of playing time, Daniel James says he's still happy at Man United. Matic, I don't think, will start the game. Could be involved, you know, like I've already mentioned, Matic has lost his place in the team. So there you go. After Southampton, we do play PSG in the Champions League group stage. That's our 5th game in the group. We only need 1 point to qualify for the knockout stage. We've got 2 games remaining in the group, PSG and RB Leipzig, and I'm pretty convinced that we can, you know, get at least 1 point out of them 2 games. We've been very, very dominant in Europe. We've already beaten PSG twice since Solsjaer came in, beating them in the group stage earlier on in the season 2-1 and knocked them out of the last 16 a few years ago. We won 3-1 and we overcame a 2-goal deficit. Don't forget, PSG did get to the Champions League final last season. Our next league game after Southampton is West Ham. That's another game Manchester United should be winning. Then it's Leipzig after West Ham, and then our next league game after West Ham is Manchester City. So games are coming up thick and fast for Man United. Now, I have been keeping you up to date on the transfer news, haven't I? Man United are obviously making plans for next year. You know, there is a lot of players on our agenda. Earlier on today, I give you the news, didn't I, on Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. It says that Man United are not giving up hope on signing Ousmane Dembele on loan in January. And Fabrizio Romano's come out and said that he is still a target for Manchester United. We inquired about getting him on loan during the summer transfer window. You know, reports came out a few weeks ago saying that he could leave for 45 million in January, but I think Barcelona have said that they want around 67 million pounds. He's one of the alternatives to Sancho. My element of concern about Ousmane Dembele is that he's injury prone. Sustained a few injuries at Barcelona, but he's under contract with Barca till 2022. Barcelona got him in a deal worth 135 million from Borussia Dortmund back in 2017. It recently said Barcelona have paid Borussia Dortmund 4.4 million. Hakan Çalhanoğlu. It's very, very likely he'll be joining Manchester United next summer. That's according to Bill's Christian Fark. It says we've been in advanced talks with Hakan Çalhanoğlu's agent. Atletico Madrid and Juventus have been in for him. There was reports coming out about this last month saying that Man United were prepared to offer him a 5-year contract. You know, he's been at Milan now for quite a few years. He's made over 100 appearances in the Serie A. I think in January, he'll enter the final 6 months of his contract, Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Milan paid around £20 million for him from Bayer Leverkusen. Samuel Chukwueze from Villarreal. I give you the news on him yesterday. Erling Haaland, you know, he's also another player on our agenda. I think we're going to go in for him next year. It was a shame that we missed out on Erling Haaland back in January because I said he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solsjaer type signing. Ole Gunnar Solsjaer knows the player well because Solskjaer was the one that gave him his debut at the age of 16 at Molde. The reason Haaland didn't come in is because of our inconsistency. And obviously at that point we had no Champions League football to offer. Haaland is available for around £68 million in the summer of 2022 because that's when his release clause does become active. But if we was to go in for him next year, it'd probably cost us maybe around 100 million. Dortmund only paid £17 million for him. He's got a contract with Dortmund till 2024. Now, Dayot Upamecano, he's also another player on our agenda. I think we could go in for him next summer because he's going to be available for around £36 million because that's when his release clause does become active. David Carmo, he's also another player that's been on our agenda. So, like I've said to you, Manchester United need a centre-half and we also need a right winger. They are the two priorities. We're also going to focus on the outgoings next year as well as the incomings. There's still deadwood at the football club that we need to get rid of now. We're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard next year, Marcus Rojo, Phil Jones. I think Sergio Romero will leave because Romero is now our third choice goalkeeper. I think Matic could leave next year. He'll probably leave next summer because he's lost his place in the team. Possibly Juan Mata could leave the club. Daniel James could possibly go. There's obviously been rumours of Brandon Williams going out on loan to Southampton because Williams is now our third choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. There's been rumours of obviously Dean Henderson going out on loan in January. It actually said that Dean Henderson wants to go out on loan in January. But Solskjaer was talking about Dean Henderson prior to the game against Istanbul Başakşehir, and he said that Dean Henderson wants to stay at Manchester United and he wants to play for the club. Dean Henderson is our second choice goalkeeper. He hasn't featured yet in the Premier League this season, but he's played in both our Carabao Cup games. He also made his Champions League debut against Istanbul Başakşehir in Turkey. Made his international debut earlier on in the month. During the summer, he signed a 6-year contract with Man United worth 120 grand a week. So there you go. But like I've said to you, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs more backing at the football club. Because he hasn't been backed enough, and Ollie revealed a few times during the summer transfer window that he was very, very infuriated with the board. None of our managers have been backed enough since Fergie left, you know. Moyes wasn't backed enough, Van Gaal wasn't backed enough, Mourinho wasn't backed enough, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has not been backed enough. Because during the summer transfer window, missed out on all of his priority targets. Didn't we? And the board have been one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time now. You know, there's still a problem with certain players at Man United. But anyway, Woodward came out the other week and said that Man United remain absolutely committed to Solskjaer despite our poor start to the season. The main explanation why Solsjaer is still Man United manager is because he is a club legend, and disregarding him being a club legend, I think he would have been sacked by now. But some pressure would have eased off Ole because we have won our last 3 games in a row in all competitions. So if we beat Southampton, that will be 4 wins in a row in all competitions. Can't remember the last time we won 4 games in a row. And I think if we do beat Southampton, that will be 8 wins away from home in the Premier League. And the last time I think we did that was back under Sir Alex Ferguson. There's quite a few issues Solskjaer's got to solve at the club. You know, he's obviously got to solve the Paul Pogba issue. He's got to identify his best 11 because I don't think Ollie knows his best 11. I think he's also got to select the right formation. He has gone a lot with the 4-2-3-1 formation since he got appointed in. In like the big games, he's gone with a 3-5-2 formation. You know, a few times he's gone with that 4-3-3 formation. So there you go. He's also got to decide on what he's going to do with Anthony Martial as well. But yeah, Solskjaer's been Manchester United manager now for almost 2 years. It's next month, his 2-year anniversary. I think he's been permanent Man United manager for around, 20, 21 months or something like that. The main explanation we give Solskjaer the job permanently was reflect on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. Ollie's under contract with Man United until 2022. I'm very sceptical he'll see out his contract unless a miracle happens. Ollie's managed over 100 games for us in all competitions. Now, there's obviously been a lot of rumours of, Mauricio Pochettino becoming Man United's next manager. He's been the favourite to take over. There's obviously been talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in. A few weeks ago there was talks of Julian Nagelsmann coming in. But, we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers, and it wouldn't really solve a lot if we did sack Ole. You know what I mean? But there is positives to take from his tenure. Like I've said, he's made some good signings since he got appointed in. He's spent over £200 million since he became Man United manager, and he's endured 4 transfer windows at the football club. He's also got rid of a lot of players since he got recommended in as well. Last season, he guided us to 3 semi-finals. He got us 3rd place, and he got us qualification for the Champions League. He showed a lot of tactical flexibility in a lot of the big games. We've also enjoyed some good periods under him. We're enjoying a pretty good period now. So there is positives to take. If Man United could finish in the top 4 this season, and if we could win a trophy, that would represent a very, very good season for us, and then that would give us something to build on, wouldn't it? We're currently sitting, 10th now in the Premier League, and we know that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. So we must beat Southampton on Sunday. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so we haven't won it now for a good 8 years or so. In the last 8 years, we've been playing catch-up. We've obviously sacked 3 managers since Ferguson left, and that was Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho, and we've spent over £1 billion on players in the last 8 years. This includes what we spent under Ole, and we've recruited around 36 players in since Ferguson left. But like I've said to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's inheriting a squad that is worth a good £700 million or £800 million, disregarding, who he's brought in. So, yeah. So, anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.